and there's a lot of classes we have taken on this. It's already late. So we'll continue from yesterday's class. Yesterday we stopped at working with the competencies. Okay, and so today we'll just go on understand working with the competencies, like editing the competency, how to edit a competency. So you can just go on, click on company settings, and click on manage competencies. And as a best practice, before you start working competencies, okay, so what you have to do, you have to just go and select your competency library, which is a predefined from your own success store that you have added to your system. And then what is the next thing? That suppose if you want to add your competency, and you can see that all these are existing competencies available within your 2.1 competency library. And suppose if you want, as a best practice, suppose you have to go and select any of these existing competency. For example, just go and click on any of the link. For example, we clicked on the competency called as accepting direction. This is a name of a competency, and before you start working with editing the competency, you always first click on save as, and just go on give your own competency as a test competency. Okay, just to understand, I just using it as a different name. Whenever you are going to copy, give your own competency, and you see that unique identifier is a global unique identifier code, can be a numeric or alphanumeric or alpha or numeric. So but it should be a unique, and because every competency should have its own unique code. I'm just going to select here 901, or let us try what happens here. Okay, just go and click on OK. Now you see that, when I give a unique ID which doesn't exist in the system, it immediately okays with the competency you copied. You can see the name of a competency you copied from the standard competency from the competency library list from 2.1 success factors competency library. So let us start working with the competency. Okay, so if you want to create your own competency, you can also create, but it will be completely blank, and you define it and you can include it in the competency, or you can also define your own competency library as well. But we need to follow certainly as a best practice, as I've been telling. First, let me explain to you from the beginning. This is the name of a competency you must give, and you see the description, which will help the users that to guide when the competency is being placed for the users, when a goals are launched, and when the form templates are launched in the performance launch cycle. And when you see the description here, and the description is something which they will see by default as a direction that will help how to use this competency which is being placed for the users. And as I said yesterday also, if you don't mention any description here, and this is an optional one, it doesn't mean that you have to give the competency description every time. If you don't want to maintain as an administrator any description, just leave it blank, and this by default they'll find for the users when the competencies are associated with the goals, and they will see that. Okay, but they will not see any kind of direction. Next, when it comes to the local, and it is a default language, and if you want to switch into any other language, if it has been activated, first you have to just go here and activate in the options. You have a language pack, whichever is enabled, and you can set up here. Okay, next one, you see the category here. The category can be, you can see the number of categories here available. Is it recording? Fine. And you find here number of categories like the procedure, something goals and results, financial objectives and all. In the same way, if there is any competency section, that means if you have any category, for that specific category, if you want to create, okay, your own category, simply just go on click on add here. Okay, this is something where you can add maybe the category is helping users or something like. You can give me an example. For example, what we can say, directions to the users guide. Okay, directions to the users guide, maybe example competencies. Okay, you can just name it and click on OK, and you can see this is the category you are creating, and in this you can create number of competencies and you can add the same category and bring them together under this particular category. Okay, that's how it will help you grouping the number of competencies, like a competency or directions, like guiding the colleagues and helping your team members. Like that you can create number of competencies. This will help, then you guide them how they can act by using these competencies under this particular category you specify here by clicking on add you want. But if you want to delete any of these categories, how to do that? I'll show you that, but here is not a place where you can do that. Okay. Now, once you select the category, and next you need to specify the GUID number, which can be a 3-digit or 4-digit alphanumeric character. I think it's a 3-digit only. I'm sorry. This is a 3-digit alphanumeric character, and it should be a unique code that is called a global a unique identification code. Okay, and next you can also call it as a global unified identification code. Also, you can call it as. Next, you see the status. When it comes to the status, it is not like you see like active status or inactive status. No, it is something whether do you want to allow the users, you as an administrator, when the goal, when these competencies are associated with the goals or form templates, when these will help the users, do you want to allow them to edit the competency? And do you want to allow the user to only to view the competency and follow the directions of this competency which is being placed in the description? So you have to just go and specify it, whether it is a hidden, that means it is going to be hidden from the users to view, and editable and read only. And when you just go and give an option editable, simultaneously they can also read it, you know it. And then if it is only readable, they can't edit, they don't have an option to edit. So you have to just go and give in whichever the options you want to give it. Okay, but you may ask, how do you get these hidden and editable or read only? Because it's all completely data models we have. It's all completely data models we have. Okay. So you will specify that, because even in the success factors, I don't know how many of you are aware, the complete employee central module is going to come under the data models. They are heart of your complete EC module. In the same way, even in the goals also, these competencies and goal templates, XML files and form templates, XML files are the heart of your goals and the performance. In the same way, this is also going to come from where you see that editable, readable are hidden. Where you get it? It is from the XML file. I'm going to explain it how to use and how to handle what kind of scenarios, what you are going to do as a professional services consultant will be explained there, because everything you see here, everything that whether it is improve, meets or exceeds, from where it is coming, it is being controlled, it is being enabled, it is being edited, and you are going to customize it from the template files, XML templates. We can call it as a form XML file, XML form templates. Okay, not CSV templates. In the same way, it is also going to be the same in the employee center. And I'm just going to tell you at this point, for example, when you are going to learn Employee Central, it is not about only you handle and learn from Admin Center. It is not going to help you anyone. Because morning I was just talking one of you people, and because everything is XML, and I will be explaining with a scenario based how to handle those data models, and it's going to help you, and you will see the completeness, and you will see how to handle the EC module after even with the goals and the performances. Now you see that it is something the status. When it comes to the status, you find here even if you have any other status field, you can add in the XML form templates. Then it will be reflected here like this. In the same way, okay, you want to allow the users, you just specify the appropriate option for the users that you specify will be displayed and it will help the users the way that the strategy is being mentioned. In the same way, you see the core. Do you want to make this competency you are creating it as a yes or no? That means what exactly that you need to understand when you see the core. Suppose the core is something, when you specify, but you can't make every competencies as a core. You can only specify one competency as a core. The reason is once you specify any competency with a core, it is going to be set as a default competency for the user. By default, every user in the company who are having these competencies will placed will see by default this competency. That means at any cost, this competency is placed as a default. It is going to be the first competency for the users and it is a default one. It is going to be seen for everyone. But let me also tell you another point. Once you specify the competency with a core, okay, this when you specify this competency as a core and it is going to be shown to every employee and it is also going to be in a active status as well automatically, and I'll show you that once you go and save it and you will be able to understand it. Now that is why you can't make every competency as a core competency. You can't make every competency as a core competency. It depends which competency you want to make it as a client requirement. Now let us concentrate on okay, the performance details tab, the assigned to a job roles and assigned to job behaviors. Okay, now let us understand about the performance details. Okay. So when you just go and click on performance details and you can see here a take action drop down menu. In the take action drop down menu, you have a number of actions like you can see the add a teaser and rename a level. Now this is called as a one level, this is one level and this is one level. Now, if you want to add a new teaser, simply just go and select it and name the what do you call the teaser and give the description for the users whether to be less positive or whether it is a neutral, whether they have to be more positive with the description. And if you want to find here, you can have a lot of explanations we are given. But if you want to add your own teaser level, simply just go and click on add a new teaser. Is something like we'll do it as a test. Now you can see there is a new teaser has been added as a new section to the other existing teasers. Okay. Now what you can do, you can also swap all these, from this one level to the first level or whatever the section you can make it. But here you can see that you have a lot of other teasers, right? Suppose if you want to move these selected teasers, what you can do, you can just come here, click on move, okay? Then to which one you want to move it, just select it. Simply that you can make it available the teasers and you can guide them in the description to use these test teasers as the like. Suppose if you want to remove any of existing teasers, first you have to just go and select all of them. Okay, you can just select all of these teasers here, and what you can do, simply just go and delete. And in the same way, you can also go and delete or remove the entire level also. You can do whatever you want by using these sections, and these will help for the users whether they can be less positive and they have to be more positive, whether it is a neutral by giving your word description. So you can define it. In the same way, if you just see here, you see the test meets and exceeds. For example, So we'll move some of these teasers to the text. Okay, you can do whatever the way that you want. It is very much possible, and is very, what do you call, very flexible and very easy. That's how, where you can set up with the teasers, and you all can test it and you all can practice it. It is all very easy and it will help. But if there is, we have for every single requirement, everything is there. But suppose you found that there is something you didn't get the requirement of a client, what you can do, you can just go and add it, and you define it, and you add it, and check it, and then we will use in the, when we go to the goal management, and again we'll redefine all this. That's how we need to understand. Once it is done, okay, now what is the next thing? You just simply go and save it. Okay, because I'm just taking bit faster, because the same thing will be repeated when we take the class in goal PM module, performance management. That's the reason. Okay, now once you save the file, and you can just go and check it in the competency library list, and you can see here, and go directly to the last page, and you can see here, this is, okay, the competency we created, and you can see that the core, we didn't make the core here. Okay, and okay, the point I was just trying to tell you, when you make any competency as a core, yeah, you can create anytime when you need your own teasers, add it. It's very much possible, right? Yeah, you can add it, madam. Very easy. Now you see that, for example, okay, for example, if you want to make this teaser, what do you call, this competency as a core, automatically this will be editable status automatically. That was I was just trying to tell you. Next one, for example, if you just see here actions, right? Just go and click on these actions. So suppose if you want to change a status to readable only, to hide hidden or editable, you don't have to every time click on this and do whatever. No, you don't have to do every time. Simply just select your competency, whichever that you want to make necessary changes, click on these actions button, because most of the time we don't see these actions, because you don't find any drop down list, right? You'll feel that maybe this is a heading. No, this is a button. Click on it and you will find here to change the status. And if you want to delete okay, the competency which you copied, simply just go and click on delete. The competency is no more. It's removed successfully from the competency library. Okay, for example, let us take another existing competency here. Okay, click on actions, and if you want to move this category, okay, sorry, so whichever the category, that you can see here, a lot of other sections we have, and even in the same way we also have added one section. Automatically you don't find our category, because the category we created for which one, for the test competency, so that automatically removed here. That's how that we have to remove the categories when you add, because you see that policy is also created by one of you people, or maybe me, I don't remember. And you see the organizational behavior is also created, not by default predefined, it's created ourselves. Now just go and click on and delete, automatically this will go. And you see that if you want to download the selected one, you can just go and click on it. In which format you want to see this one? In XML format, and you want to see this exported to the system in a CSV, and you want to include the GUID in the download, and we'll do it in XML. And these are all something like XML form templates. In the same way, let us go and okay, for example, let me explain this also. Suppose if this is going to be there with any of the special characters, like I just explained when explained about so you can just go and specify, and it will, okay, you see that. Just go and open this file, and it's automatically, you see here in which format, in the web browsers. Okay, let me go to the downloads. This is a competency library which you just XML pad, and you can see here, and you see that in the table view, expand it, competency, and will be explained all these, and you can see the GUID, and you can see everything here. As you just go on a competency name, the policy, the competency description, and if you have that description, if you want to make it, you can directly go and change it. It's possible. 1 second. You can see here, you can make here, you can change the directly here a competency that you have modified it, you can do that. In the same way, you can see the competency category. If you want to rename it, you can just directly go and rename it. And in the same way, you see that, you know, subtopics, like you have the same thing, you just compare it, everything, you know. I will be explaining all this, don't worry. Okay, just expand this. Yeah, first we should have an understanding about what do you call these competencies, sorry, this XML, then only you will understand what I'm trying to open and show you. Everything here in the XML. If you want to see the source mode, you can see here. But you must understand this language. The opening tag and the closing tag, and what is the label, what is the HRIS field, what are the standard element, what is the competency name, what is the competency GUID, you can see here. And what is the opening tag, and what is this tag about, everything. First we need to understand the XML, and as we go on, you will understand the completeness and how to handle the XML. We'll be explaining all this. If you want to just go on and explain, if you want to export the file in a CSV format, let us see how it is going to look like. See that now, you can see here, see that competency, this is ID. Okay, and I see the teasers here for competency. You can see the number of teasers, and you can see here that, you know, but you know, when you look at this, it's going to be a bit it's a description, but it's a bit you know, not able to understand, right? But it's always preferable that you open in the XML and do it, because most of the time when you handle these templates in a CSV, it gives, but when you go and import the employees, it's always best to use that importing. But with regarding these goals, with regarding this form templates, with regarding competencies, XML files, use always XML, so that it is very easy to edit, easy to handle. That's the most important thing. We need to know it. We'll be explaining all that. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, so that's how, where we can explore, export and maintain, do whatever you want. Now let me open the existing one. Okay, I'm just going to open. Now when you just come here, okay, I was just explaining about the job families. Right, I was just explaining about the job families, and you don't find the job families in the system now, because in the earlier system you have this link, and where you can create, and where you can add the job roles and what job codes. But suddenly we need to also do, and we need to map it with the competencies. How to do that? So it's very simple. We'll use a simple shortcut and we'll add it. First, let me explain what is all families. Suppose first you understood about editing the competency, then you need to map it with the job families. So in SuccessFactors, so these job families helps you to organize the competencies by families, job families, and the job roles. What is exactly the job families when you come to the definition? The job families are something, it's a broad job category. It is something like a broad job category that you have in your company. That means you can create job families. For example, maybe major functions in your company, maybe as a HR, or maybe as a IT or finance. These are major functions in your company, right? So you can group them as, maybe HR is a one job family. Okay, so what you need to do, you have to go and create a job family. Next you have a job role. What is a job role? A job role is describes about the type of a jobs. Okay, but you may ask how to create a job. That means how to create a job codes and all. That will come when we start easy, because this competency is a section comes as a prerequisite for PMGM. Prior to that, we are going to see the easy, how to create job roles and job codes. But we are going to use the existing one, how to map with the competencies. Okay. Then later on when you create your own, after I explain, then you can try it, your own employees. Now let me explain the job roles. The job role is going to specify about the type of jobs that are going to be included in the job family. What is a job family? The job family is going to specify the major functions in a company, for example, HR. The job role is going to specify the type of a job that are going to be associated with a job role. Next, you have a job code. Job role is different, job code is different. Job codes are nothing but it is going to be assigned with each job role, and this job code is assigned with the job role, and the job role is associated with the job families. And another important point is multiple job codes can also be assigned to each job role. For example, you have a job role. We can take, for example, as a vice president. Okay, maybe in the HR department, we have, for example, operations. Okay, you have a job family as a HR is a major function. In the particular one, we have a job roles, maybe operations. Okay, that is a one job role. In that job role you have a multiple job codes. That means job codes are the one which are associated with the multiple employees, maybe as what we call job code. You can give maybe as a vice president, maybe as a HR, junior HR, senior HR, and etc. You can just take them. So you are having multiple job codes, you are going to associate. That means with the job codes or only with the job codes only, when employee is associated this employee data, that means HRIS data, we can call it as, or HR master data is associated with the employee, and these job code is indirectly associated with the employee, and these multiple job codes are associated with the job role, and it's with the job families, and it is with the associated with the competencies. So let me go and create these all families, job families and the job roles. Everyone is able to hear me? I think there is some net problem. Fine. Okay. So now what you need to do first, it's very simple. Come back to your system. Okay. Just click on here, assigned to a job role. Okay. So what we have to do is first let us go and search for in the admin center. Okay, whether we have all families in the system or not. Let us verify it. You don't find that all families in the system, then what to do that? We have to configure and map it with the competencies. We'll see that. Just use it here, tool, and you search for that. Do you find anything here? You don't find. It's simple. Just go back to the same previous step. Click on manage competencies. And first what you need to do is just select any of, okay, select this. And maybe we are using the other existing one. I think this is not having anything. Check this. This is ours only, we created earlier. Now just go and click on assign to the job roles. It's very simple. Just see that you expand this more button. Okay, and click here to access the families and job roles tools. You see here, simple, click on that, and now you can see that navigation path is showing like admin center, all families via admin center. So what you have to do is simple, just go and create your own, okay, because there are many things. First let me remove all this, you know. So you all try, no problem, you know, I don't have any issues when you all practice and all, but you just suddenly remove them, okay, automatically once you create it. Don't leave it like that, because this is not a system we install in our system and use it. This is completely live, no, of course it's a sales demo system only. Okay, now you just go and click on add a new family, okay. So you can see here, add roles from a success store, or if you have anything, you can import it. But we need to add a new family, right? You just go and click on it. And you need to simply just go and give it any name, maybe the name as Vani. Save this edits. And you can see here that file will be at the bottom of this. What is this one? This is simply a family we created. This is nothing but it is just simply a family we created. And then what is the next thing? You just go and click on that link we created. Now what is the, do you see here? Create a new role. You have to just go and click on create a new role, and a new pop-up window comes, and you need to mention the role name, maybe as operations or maybe as HR department. Okay, now you can see here the job code. Click on this and you can add multiple job codes at a time. Okay, you just, you know, click on that drop down list and you'll find all the existing multiple job codes, and I think it's taking much time. Okay, let us go and type the username directly. Yeah, I'm sorry, we supposed to select, not I'm just selecting the username. That's not I should select, I should search for the job codes. Okay, and now you can see there are multiple job codes existing here, and just see that for multiple operations you can see here, and whichever is your own, and you can just go and assign it, and you can see that I just created this one. Add it, okay, and give this role. This is the job role assigned with a job code to the role for the competency mapping. Just give some description, okay, optional one, not an issue. Just go and save it. Now you will find here that the job code has been, okay, has been assigned here, and you can just simply go and click on this link. And otherwise, if you want for example, if you want to move this one to anything, like, you know, if you want download or move to different family, that also you can do it. You will try later on. Now you just go and click on this edit button here. Okay, if you want to make any changes, simply just go and do whatever you want, and next you just edit it. Now let me just go and click on this all families, and again click on this link. There is something I have to see here. Yeah, now you have to just go and click on that link that you find, and you will find here the job code, and you see that description. And if you want to switch into any other language, you can select here. And if you have anything that you want to edit the properties, simply click here and you will find the same button. Okay, and now you see that map a new competency here. Just click on this. Okay, now you can see that, you know, the role and you can see the competency name, and within library simply just go and select it, and you can see a lot of the competencies from the library you will find here as a result, and select whichever that you want to. Okay, maybe you want select it and add selected. Now you can see that I have added this competency where to the job role, where the job role and job codes are coming under the families, or you are mapping it. And if you want to remove it, select the checkbox and save it, and you save the changes. Once done, close the. Okay, now the changes are done, and click on finish, and you must find there the competency. Next one, okay, and let me also explain to you. You see here expected rating and weight and all, right? What is this one about? This you can add an expected rating to each competency role. Okay, each competency for each role you can add. For example, you can take your CEO is expecting could be expecting the rating of 4 for leadership, and for manager expecting that 3%. Okay, what exactly you have to give? You have to give the percentage, and what exactly the percentage you want to specify. Next, you see the weight. The weights are mostly useful if you are managing the competency, maybe for individually, and each role has a different weights for each different competency. So if you just simply go and click on this, okay, now you can see here, and you can just go on expected rating and maybe 80 percentage, and you can see that weight 20 percentage, and you can also specify the lowest rating, lowest score maybe 4 out of 5, highest score maybe 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, and expected score. But this will be automatically calculated to help out what kind of expected percentage has to be, that you can mention it, and you can just let me take your maybe as 80 percentage and 20 percentage. See here, and let me come back to which competency we added. This one, let me just select this. Let me go back to all families and select Shivani. This is being added to the policy. Which competency? Accepting direction, right? Let us go and find out. Okay, let me go back to the admin center and click on competency, click on manage competencies, and click on the competency library list, accepting direction, and you can see here, and you can see that a lot of other explanation is given, and you can see here. So this is how that how a competency has to be associated and help with the users. And you see that assigned behavior, this is something like a coaching advisor. This will help users. Maybe you can use it existing one. We'll see that when we explain, like something like to help a coaching advisor. We can call it as, for example, uh, just go and click on this. Is just an optional. Okay. You can just go and add your own. Click here to manage the templates tool. This will come managing the templates tools and everything when I start goals and all. You can add your own new behavior, and with the description, this will help the users. So this will be included automatically when we launch the performance life cycle. We'll see the same thing again. But this is something we should have a understanding. This is a prerequisite for PM and GM module, and this also can be used later on any other modules if you are working in them, in the like recruiting 360-degree review or LMS or succession and development. These competencies are going to be repeated. This is going to be the same. Okay, now let us Let me give you some of the exercises. Create a new competency. From an existing competency. Next one, create a new competency category. This is enough. If you have any other competencies, any exercises that you want to add it as per your understanding, tell me, I will add it. Come on. Maybe create a new competency. Let us try. And using the competency actions menu. What are you going to do in that actions menu? We have something there in the competency actions menu. Where do you find that competency actions menu? Which place? Mr. Dinesh Reddy. No. Explore the performance details. Next one, create job roles and job codes. Create job roles and job codes. Enough. Okay, the last one will map the competencies to job roles. This is enough. Just give me a second. So check the competencies. Yeah. So please try to answer as per your understanding. Okay. It doesn't mean that you have to give the answer. Okay. Job families define a broad job categories in your company. What kind of job families can be established? Come on, it's very easy and it is explained. Job families define a broad categories in your company. What kind of job families? You mean to say like major functions, HR, IT? No, not at all. The first one is the right answer. Job families can be created in any way that makes the sense for the organization. First one is the right answer. Very good. Next one is for existing competencies, you can add a new, edit, reorganize and delete performance details for the company. For existing competencies, you can add a new, edit, reorganize. What is the answer? Simple answer, right? True, very good. Next one is not proper. Okay. Select all the answers that best describes the competency library. Read them again and they will understand. Let us leave this one. It's not proper. I think this question will be repeated again. Okay. Which of the following actions cannot be performed through actions menu in a competency library? Come on. Your observation on this. Which of the following actions cannot be performed through the actions menu in a competency library? Which one? In the actions menu. What is that? The first one, move to another library. Very good. The answer is first one only. Next one, customers can edit competencies in the SuccessFactors competency library. If significant changes to competencies are made, it is best practice to save them in the customer library. It is save them in the customer library. What is the one? Who is that false guy? Sorry, who is that false who have given the answer? Somebody gave the answer. False. Somebody. Leave it, no problem. The answer is true. Okay, the answer is absolutely true. Sorry. Next one, to create a new competency from an existing competency or existing one. What are you going to do? Which one the answer is? Follow that, observe it, and you have the answer. Company process and select success factors library. Absolutely false. First one is not right. Very good. Major people say that the second one is right one. Absolutely, second is right. Next one, select all the answers that best describes the competency library. Yeah, here it is the proper answer. The proper way it's looking. Yeah, tell me the answer here. Okay, we have four options. One is you can build, that is the first option. Second option, competencies library, the second option. You cannot use, and the four options. Which of out of these we have two answers. Nobody's. Come on, read it and you have the answer there. You mean to say the first and second? You can build your own library should the need exist, and use one of the SuccessFactors competency library or third-party competency library. Okay, first one is the right answer. Competency libraries are organizational links. Okay, Lomniger is something, you'll find that is a kind of system. We have a lot of other competencies like, competency library. This is actually a separate company where you'll find a lot of competencies. This has nothing to do with our system. Okay, the answers are the first, second, and the third. Because you have the same similar topic here in the same system Lomniger, and there also you have the competencies same like we have. Okay, that is nothing to do with us. Okay, next one, edit job role must be a part of job family. Edit job role must be part of job family. What is that? True, very good. Next one is, organization may have specific competencies that are considered a core to the business. How can competencies in the library be flagged as a core competency? Simple answer. Which one is right? Absolutely. The third one is the right one. Very good. And creating job families allows you to establish individual job roles associated with the job family. This in turn allows you to associate competencies with a specific job role. With a specific job role can be which answer? Very good. The answer is true. So by this we are completing one module, Introduction to Mastery, and the next thing I'm going to explain. One second, why this is showing like this? Okay. Okay, the next thing I'm going to explain is first, before next we have a MDF module. This is a prerequisite for Employee Central, and many people, you might hear from many people, something we need XML coding for this MDF. No, that is absolutely a blunder. For MDF, it doesn't require any XML. I'll show you output, how it works, how it is going to be viewed for employees. It's very interesting class. I'm going to explain that. I'll show you completely from the beginning till the end of your MDF. And the reason you might hear many confusions on this MDF, and they say we need XML, we need XML coding, we need a knowledge on that. Of course, you need XML knowledge, but not for MDF. Okay, so before that I want to explain first integration overview. Okay, that's I just added recently this topic. The reason is many times from many people, this also you hear that the importance of ERP R3 system. Okay, sorry, R3 system, and you don't, many doesn't know the importance and the use of the primary ERP HR system. And when you understand this integration overview, and this week class will mostly will help everybody, but this will be more important and helpful for who are already into SAP HR. Then they would know the importance and their role in the success factors. When I start explaining about integration, certainly others also should know, because we have a lot of integration strategies in success factors that through which the success factors is implemented. There are a lot of other processes are there. It is not like from R3, it is not from any other third system, or whether whatever the non-SAP customer who wants to go to the directly to the cloud, whatever the customer, whatever the client who are not into, who are already into the R3, then what they have to do if they want to move to the cloud. So for that, SAP has developed a strategy without discarding any ERP system. For all the investments I've done on that, I'm just going to help you on that integration value. Once done, I'm just going to explain the success factors implementation methodology. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to explain implementation methodology, that how the implementation takes place, what are kind of phases we have, and you as a professional consultant should know, and what are the quality gates we have, what is a quality gate, and from where we get these resources, and who is going to be the responsible, and what each phase has to be understood in the implementation methodology. Once we're done, I will explain about MDF, then later on we'll come to the other topics as well. These are the topics I'm going to start next. Okay, if you have anybody any doubt on the class, you can ask me now.